Catherine Logan, and today on Beach Workout we're going to talk a little bit about jumping rope and show you some moves and some more advanced moves and some moves for beginners. We're in lovely Santa Monica. We're going to be in a couple different locations, jumping in some different beautiful places and learning all about the technique of jumping rope and what it takes to get started and what to do once you've mastered the beginning stages and how to progress through some different moves. So come along and join me today on Beach Workout. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to learn a little bit about jumping rope. I've been jumping rope now for about 2 years, and since I've moved to the LA area, I found a great instructor, Luis Garcia, and we're going to teach you a little bit about the basics and how to size up a rope. Roping is great because no matter where you go, if you're traveling for business, it's really compact. You just roll it up and tuck it right in your suitcase, and then all you have to do is take it out, and you've got a great exercise unit to work with. It only weighs, gosh, just a few ounces, so you're not packing any extra weight in your luggage either. So it's a great sport, and if you combine it with some sit-ups and some push-ups, you've pretty much got an all-over body workout. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about how to pick out a rope for you. First thing you want to do is you want to take a jump rope, and you want to step on it with one foot. And I'm going to lift my foot off the ground just a little bit to show you as a beginner where you want your rope. Normally you want your rope, you want to start out right about chest level. And as you progress and start to shorten your rope, ultimately you'll get it right about here, just right at that chest level line. So as a beginner you want it just about this length. Because what happens if you get it longer, it's a lot harder to work with and you'll trip yourself up a lot. And if it's short, well, you're going to trip yourself as you're trying to jump through the rope. Okay, so we've got the perfect size rope. Now the first thing, most people will start out, and they'll jump rope like this. Well, like that. Jump rope like so. But to make it a little fun, what we do is we start out with something called figure eights. Okay, and you're just basically taking the rope from one side of the body to the other, like so, in a 12 and 6 movement on the sides. This will help you as you start to jump. Also in a resting, this is also what's known as a resting period. Okay, as the wind kind of blows my rope a little bit, but basically 12 and 6 o'clock on both sides. And you can also do 2 turns and 2 turns. So we're moving the rope forward in a forward motion at 12 and 6 o'clock. And also in this, you can do a step touch. This will also help you to catch your breath when you go through jumping series and to also keep your heart rate elevated. Okay? So this will be a step touch. Okay. Now, the way you get into a rope from here is when the rope is high at this point, what we're going to do is jump into the rope, like so. Okay? So to break it down again, when the rope swings high, you get in. So, one more time. Rope swings high, take your arms apart, and you jump through. Okay? So rope swings high, arms apart, jump through. Okay. Now when you're jumping, it's really important to stay relaxed. You can see I can move my shoulders and miss the rope. You're not normally moving your shoulders as much when you're jumping, but you get the effect. Okay? Stay loose. Now you can also see my elbows are in tight to my body, not out here, which will make it hard to jump. Okay? And I'm just turning from the wrist. Okay, that's very important. Now the other thing that's important is when you jump, a lot of people have a tendency when they're beginning to jump is to do a double hop, which is, well, I can't even do it now. Basically they jump twice, like so, trying to jump through the rope, or they jump too far off the ground. What you want to do is jump about a half an inch to an inch off the ground, so the rope has just enough clearance. So very evenly off the ground. And as I turn to the side, you see, well, it's kind of hard to see on the grass, but I'm jumping on the balls of my feet, not like this flat-footed, which will ultimately kill you. So just to jump. Okay, for those of you who like to exercise in the gym, you can jump, traditional 2-footed jump, like so, and jump for a few minutes, and continue to jump and continue to jump. And that's great exercise. But there's also a lot of fun. Okay, so let's teach you a couple movements and we'll go through a short routine so you can kind of see what we do in the gym. Okay, you've got the basic movement, which is figure eights, and you've got the 2 turns with a step touch. Okay, and you know how to get into your rope now. Let's learn the alternating jump, which is basically where you just shift weight from one foot to the other. And if you see, I'm kind of exaggerating the movement a little bit so you can see, I'm just shifting weight from one foot to the other. Now, another way to learn tricks, the alternating jump. Okay, this is called a boxer shuffle, where we dig our heels into the ground. Okay, there's also a slalom jump, similar to skiing, side to side motion, and a front to back. Front to back, it's where you jump front and then back. Okay, so let's try to incorporate those moves a little bit. That's known as a toe catch. Easy way to stop the rope without hitting yourself. Let's talk a little bit about stretching. So it's really important to stretch. Jumping rope actually warms your body up as you go, so you can jump a little bit, just like we've done, to warm the muscles up and then get ready for a stretch. It's really important to stretch your arms out and hold this for 10 seconds, and you do it on both sides. And I actually have just returned from the gym. I'm very warm, so to save some time and to show some more jumping technique, we'll kind of run through the motions here. And then an overhead stretch, just pulling back on the elbow and relaxing into it. And again, hold it for about 10 seconds. Stretch, repeat on the other side. Okay, now, some other stretches we do. This will help warm up the torso. What you do is you don't lean over. That's bad for you. You come up and stretch over. You're stretching through here and through here. And some of those of you who are more flexible are able to stretch all the way over. I happen to not be as flexible. And then you want to stretch the other side. Okay. And again, hold them for about 10 seconds. Now you also want to warm up through your hips and through your ankles and everything as well. Some nice stretches that we do. And the grass is a little wet, so I'm going to be real careful with this. Because you want to stretch through here. Basically, bring your body forward over the knee. The knee does not extend over the toe. That's bad. You want to just bring it in line with your ankle. So you just leave some weight on there and stretch. Hold that again for 10 seconds. Then you come up. This will help stretch out through here. Put your weight on this foot back here. Put your hands here. For an extra stretch, you can reach down and grab the toe, and you will feel that stretch all the way through the back, through the hamstrings. And again, hold that for a few moments. Now, the other thing, this is the last thing on this side, is you bring all your weight forward while leaning forward. Feet are both flat on the ground. And you roll this back heel through and place it back on the ground. Through, place it on the ground. Okay? And you want to do that for about 7 times, 10 times, something like that. And that gives you a nice stretch through your Achilles tendon. Then you bring it around. You always want to make sure you stretch both sides. So again, we stretch into our runner's stretch. Knee over the ankle, not past the toe. That's very bad again. Give it a nice stretch. And again, you bring it up. Get the hamstrings. Reach to the toe if you want a little extra stretch. Keep your back as flat as possible. You don't want it, this is bad, you don't want to round out your back. You keep it straight. Get a nice stretch. And then again, feet both flat on the floor. And you roll that back heel through. Like so. A few extra times. We're, again, going to run it a little short. Now, another stretch that I like to do is I just like to stretch out through here. Gives me an extra stretch here to stretch these areas out. And I just kind of plant my hands on the ground. And again, I'm not as flexible, so some of you guys may be able to bend and fold and get all the way to the ground. Okay. Now, we just kind of shake it out, keep loose. And what we're going to do We'll do a short little routine. This will give you an idea of something we do in class. Okay, now we're going to do a little segment kind of similar to what we do in the gym. Basically what we're going to do, start out, do some turning, some figure eights, okay, and into the rope. Then you want to get in and out of the rope a few times with your figure eight entrances. And you can mix them up, warm it up again, stay into the rope, and jump, and figure eights. You can turn with one hand or the other hand. It's good to get used to doing this. Makes you comfortable. And grab it with two hands. Back into the rope. And let's go alternating jump. Boxer shuffle. Slalom. Front to back. Figure eights. Two turns. There's an overhand movement where you're still doing two turns, but the top hand comes over. And you can take it to different levels and mixing it up. And then you can go back to figure eights. There's also fun tricks you learn along the way. This is an overhand backward movement where the hands, one stays forward, one goes back. And you can learn to do that as you progress into the rope. Jumping jacks, crosses, heel clicks, figure eights, catch your breath, all the while to the beat of the music or just having fun with your rope. Two turns, step touch. You can also do heel back here and work your glutes a little bit. Okay, figure eights. Again, you can learn to pass your rope between single hand movements. And your other hand is active by crossing, which helps set you up to do crosses as you progress. Now another way to learn the tricks is to turn the rope at your side, 12 and 6 o'clock. This helps you learn the timing as you turn, you do your tricks. Okay, let's get back into the rope. And we jump. Let's do heel kicks. And slalom. Front to back. Figure eights. Catch your breath. We're going to learn a little bit about crosses. Not foot crosses, but crosses in the rope. Again, like I said, this sets you up to learn a little bit about crosses. With crosses, hands are low and tight to the body. Okay? You see my hand movements, simulating a cross. Okay, now we're going to get back into the rope, and I'm going to show you how this applies. So, low and tight to the body. Both hands, either hand can go on top, at a time, or backwards. Let's see that again. One, other hand. Okay, so we're gonna go back for a few minutes on these crosses just to help you guys kind of learn how to do them. So, back into the rope. Again, you can jump out of the rope and learn about hand placement by doing this. Okay, back into the rope. Low and tight. 2 at a time. Or the real trick, low and tight to the body. Okay, hands clear the hips, low and tight to the body. Okay, and figure eights. So that'll give you something fun to work towards. Now, we can also jump backwards. It's a good way to stop the rope. It's also a good way to get into a backward swing. You go through the legs, back, figure eights. Same thing, but I'm turning the rope backwards. You get in the same way, high, and we go backwards. This is good because it gives you a little bit of a different movement, and your muscles are working the opposite direction, at least the upper body. Figure eights, and you can do the same tricks backwards. Alternating jump, slalom, front to back, a little harder, and crosses, and figure eights. Now you can either drop your rope, or you can do a heel catch. Basically I catch it on my foot, flip it around. Let's see that again. Go backwards, heel catch, forwards, and jump into your rope. Okay, so we're going to do a little recap for our beginners, so you don't get too intimidated by some of the tricks that you've just seen. Again, it's a lot of fun, a lot of things to do, a lot of things to learn. Now again, for those of you who've never ever jumped rope, again, turning to the side at 12 and 6 o'clock, and just jumping on the balls of your feet a little bit off the ground will help you time how to jump through the rope. And also to do your tricks, the different ones we're going to run through again. Okay, so figure eights, get into the rope. This is our neutral jump, just our regular plain 2-foot jump. Let's go slalom. Remembering to stay loose in the shoulders. Front to back. Into the rope. Jumping jacks. Foot crosses. Back to jumping jacks. Heel clicks. Figure eights. Take a breath. Again, remembering any of the tricks you can try. Turning to the side, turning with a cross, and then get in when you're ready and try. Okay, figure eights, 2 turns. Let's do a step touch. Now, we'll go back to figure eights. Okay, into the rope. Boxer shuffle. Feeling the music, front to back, with a cross. For those of you who want to challenge yourself, 2-foot jump, heel kicks. Feeling the music if you're playing the music at home, just feeling the groove. 2-foot jump. And back to figure eights. Catching your breath. Using one hand. Using the other hand. Alternating levels. Go high and low. 2 turns and back to figure eights. Mix up your rope. It's always important that you're doing different things. Makes you really comfortable with the rope. Okay. Okay, just feeling the music. Just feeling the groove in your head. You're outside jumping. Try your other hand. Not just step touching with 1 turn. Okay, back to figure eights. And into the rope. And learn how to get into the rope from both sides. So once you've mastered your comfortable side, try it from both sides. Because then, wow, look at the fun you can have. This is like in and out. And then back into the rope. Okay, now we're going to do a ski move, which is just scissoring the feet. 2-foot jump, slalom, front to back, with a cross. Whoops, and it's okay to miss. Again, front to back, with a cross, 2-foot jump, figure eights. Okay, again, remember it's okay to miss. And for those of you who are getting a little more aggressive with your rope and trying new tricks, just remember all the battle scars you're going to have. You'll have little lines, little red marks all over. There's a welt. That's from earlier this morning when I was at the gym. They last for about 2 days and then they go down. Okay, now that we've jumped a little bit, let's talk about some other things. Water. Water's really important. You want to make sure you're drinking a lot before, during, and after you jump. It's very, very important to keep yourself hydrated. Also, I want to talk a little bit about your rope and the type of rope. There are lots of different types of ropes on the market. I find I've had a couple different ropes. I've had the leather ropes, the real thin leather ropes, and I had a hard problem jumping with those. Other than the just standard jumping, they're very hard to do tricks. Those of you who want to move up to do some of the things that we've seen on camera today, basically this is similar to the old jump rope you used to have in school with these little, I don't know what you call these, partitions, I don't know, they're little plastic pieces, and just come in different levels. You can see the rope is made of like a certain thickness of, I guess you would call this twine. We've got some soft padded handles, make it easy to jump with, and the ropes rotate very well. Their handles, I don't know, you can't really tell on the camera, but they rotate very well. They've got this little ball, and they sell them for about $10, and they've got videos and all kinds of different things. But it's very important to have a jump rope that's easy to work with, that's not going to impede your progress either. So this is a great rope. I've had 3 different kinds, and this is the one that I like best as well. Your shoes are very important. I've got on, these are just, I think these are just regular aerobic shoes. I work out in either aerobic shoes or cross-training shoes. These actually have the air in the foot and the air in the heel, which makes it a lot easier on the balls of my feet to work out. But usually either aerobic shoes or cross-training shoes will give you the support and the comfort to be able to jump in the rope. Basketball shoes are a little heavier and wider because I've tried to jump in those, and I usually catch the rope on my side of my feet. So those are some important things. If you have long hair, you want to make sure that you pull it back and pull it tight because it will get caught up in the rope. I know sometimes even these, sometimes I'll wear my hair, I'll have like 2 little ponytails here, and it'll get caught in the rope. It'll actually hit, while I jump up, my hair goes up and it gets caught in the rope. So you want to be careful about that. Make sure you tie your hair back and keep it solid so you don't get it caught up in the rope. Just wear whatever's comfortable to work out, loose-fitting clothes, something that doesn't, you know, again, get tangled in the rope and different things. What else? That's pretty much it. I mean, it's an inexpensive sport that you can take anywhere that you go. Again, after you jump, I think it's very important to do some of the stretches we talked about in the beginning. And also, I think it's important when you're finished jumping is to do a few series of sit-ups and push-ups. We'll do a few push-ups right now. Basically, you can either do either style. Make sure to keep a flat back, keep your head up, or to challenge yourself, you can go to on your feet, and again, a flat back, keep your head up, and you just do, we usually do about 20. I don't know what number that is, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 17, 20. And then you want to stretch back on your knees to stretch that all out. Reach above. That'll help you stretch it back. And give yourself another set of 20 to do. Okay, now we're going to go into a few crunches. And crunches are very important. And we usually do about 160 to 180 when we finish up our set. And what you do is you start off, hands behind your head, and you just do, you know, your regular crunches. And it's very important that you keep this stomach muscle flexed, or contracted, excuse me, contracted the whole time. You don't want to like contract up and go all the way down to where you're uncontracted. Make sure you keep that muscle contracted the whole time. See, my shoulders are off the ground and I'm coming up and down. Breathe out, breathe in, out, in. Okay? Okay, this is a regular crunch. Then you can do pulses, where you just do short and tight. You do about 25 of those. Remembering to breathe. Remembering to keep tight in through here. Keep those shoulders off the ground. Okay? Supporting your head, not pulling on your head. See, I can take my hands away, my head's still there, but it's a little easier if I keep my hand back and relax my head into my hand. Okay, we're going to go side to side. Okay, it's very important when you go from side to side. Most people are like, oh, elbow to knee. It's not your elbow to your knee. You want to think shoulder to the opposite leg. That'll really work your obliques and get what you need in your workout. Okay, so you go side to side, and you want to do about 25. It's not 1, 2, 3. It's 1, other side, 2, other side, 3, other side, okay? And you work up to about 25. Now, the other way we like to do, stretch all the way up, stretch from your toes to your fingertips, stretch them hard. Then you bring one knee in, pull to your chest, and rotate your ankle in one direction, and then you want to rotate it back in the other direction. Give it a final pull in, and then you twist out. You bring one knee over, the other arm stays on the ground, and the shoulder stays on the ground as much as possible, and you hold that inside out. So pull into your chest, rotate your ankle, rotate it back in the other direction, give it a final tug in, again trying to keep this shoulder on the ground and pulling your knee over to the other side. Okay, just do what you can. If you can only go to here, that's great, because eventually you will flex further. Okay, so just do what you can. Over to the other side, and then a few deep breaths in. So then give yourself a great big hand. It's a great workout, lots of fun things to do. Again, beginners, keep working at it. It takes a while to build up your stamina and be able to breathe through the whole series of exercises, and just keep pushing yourself and you'll really, really enjoy the sport. So what did you think? Did you enjoy jumping rope today? Lots of different maneuvers and different fun things to learn. You can always use outside location. It's best if you don't jump on the pavement. Always use the grass, because what happens is you'll tend to tear up your little beads on your rope if you've got a plastic rope, and you don't want to do that.